what I take into my exam. And then this is going to be the screen, what you see with the questions, and we'll type in here what we see. So if I grab my pad, I don't know my pen, it's my pen here. If I grab those two, what I'll do, we'll start it. And obviously once we start it, we've only got 30 minutes. So if we run out of time, we can reopen it. But what I'd like to try and do is stick to the time limit. And so it then gives us the added pressure of time. But let's see how we go. Okay, it tells us at the start we've got obviously 30 minutes, we've got non-calc, and it's 15 marks, and there's one activity. And it says the next section is going to be 45 marks, an hour and 30, and it's calculator. So that's your initial instructions. As soon as I click start test or next, it's the same button. It'll tell me what's going to happen. Not allowed to use a calculator, quite clearly. So it's in my drawer, so my phone's here, so I can't use my phone either. And we are going to click start. And then what I will do is I'll write what I would write in here, and I'll write what I would write on my pad here. So it's a 2 marker, so it's going to ask us for something. We can't literally go straight into the answer. So Nico wants to save energy. She decides to insulate her home. Nico finds us information about numbers of homes in England with different types of insulation. How many more homes have double glazing than have solid wall insulation? So double glazing is 20 and then 600,000. Hold on, let's do it so we can actually tell. And then solid wall insulation is minus 708, 123. So I'm going to do that over there. But what I will do, that's what I'd write in here, and then I'm just going to work it out over here. I'm not going to literally do all my little drop downs on there. I'll do my drop downs on here. So I've got 20, 600,000, and then we've got 708. We could work it out as in like we could chunk it. How far is it to get to 1 million? And then how far is it to get to 20 million? But if we do it like this, we all know those are going to be all 0. Can't. Borrow one. Borrow one. And oh, my brain's not thinking straight. We've got one here. So we've got 2. We've got 0. We can't do that one. And we didn't put 5 there, did we? So we've got to go 1 here. Can't do that one. So we've got to borrow 1 of that, haven't we? So we've got 1 there. We've got a 1 there. Brain's not thinking straight here. And then we can't do that one. So this one becomes 15. So 15 take away 7 is 8. And then we've got 1 take away 19, isn't it? That's 9. Oh, who have we got? Who have we got? Viv. Viv, morning. How are you? Are you okay? We've literally just started.
Good morning.
We just started this first question, so you haven't missed anything. We're just, folks, I'm showing how we put in oh my god, my brain's gone blank. What workings out I would put into this box, as in like the one you can see on the screen here, but then what I'd actually write on my piece of paper next to me. So that's what I've got up here. And we've got so 9 take away 0 is actually 9, idiot. That's me being and then we've got what we've got here, and then that's 19, isn't it? So we've got 19 take away 0. So that's our final answer. I don't know why I put 9 take away 0 is 0. What planet am I on? 9 take away 0 is 9. So not 9 times by 0, which obviously would be 0. So that's my final answer. I would literally write that in here, 19, 892, 123, and then I'd write that in here, 19, 892, 123. That's exactly it. I wouldn't write anything else. I wouldn't do all my carryings over and things like that in there. I would literally just make it quite clear that I've picked out the right two numbers and that I've done the right two numbers. I've taken them both away and I've got an answer that is correct. And I click next question. Right, let's scroll down a bit there. Nico reads about carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions that can be saved with home improvements. She decides to install loft insulation and solar panels. Nico knows she produces 8,400 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions per year in her home. What percentage of her carbon dioxide emissions will she save? Okay. So first of all, we need to look at adding both those up. So we've got 4, 7, 6, add 280, oh no, 280, not 250, 280 equals, and again, I'd literally put that on a piece of paper next to me, 476, 280, 651, and then 7. So we've got 756, I really wrote that in pen here. So 756. So we know she's going to save. What percentage of her CO2 emissions is she going to save? Well, she's going to save 756 kilograms, but then as a fraction, that's 756 over 8,400. So we need to look at how we can put in that number. So we're going to have 756, where we got here, 756. I'm going to write it as a fraction here. 756 over 8,400. I, for one, don't know what percentage that is without using a calculator. So the first thing we're going to do here is can we divide it by we can definitely divide it by 2, can't we? We can definitely divide both them by 2. So that would be 350, 375, 378, 378. That's 600. That's 750. 7, yeah. So that's that one, and that's that divided by 2. We can divide by 2 again because they're both still even. So we'll have 170, 180. 180 will be 360. So 194. Again, just double check. 8, 18. No, that's not right, is it? Oh, it's not 194. Wow. Okay, let's go. 3, 7, 8.
Is this a non-calc, please?
It's non-calc, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just shrinking these fractions. So we've got 2 into 3 goes once with a 1 left over. 217 goes 8 times with a 1 left over. So it's 189. Yeah, wrong way around. 189, and then that one again is quite simple. We're dividing that by 2, 2,100. We can now see that we definitely can't go any smaller in 2s on here. So can we go in 3s? Because if you look at that, that definitely divides by 3 because it's part of our 7 times table. So does 189 divide by 3? So we've got 3s into 18, goes 6. 3s into 9, goes 3. So we can definitely divide these two numbers by 3. If we divide this one by 3, yeah, we're going to have 700. Because 3 times 700 is that. So we've now got to a number that we think, right, 63. I don't think 63, apart from 21. 3 times 21. But does 70 divide by 3? You think, right, 70 divided by 3, 29. 23 add 23 add 23 is 69, so it's not 24. It definitely divides by 5, but that doesn't divide by 5. I don't think that they go any smaller. So we've now got a fraction that we can then make into a percentage. So if we work out the fraction, which is 63 divided 700 divided by 63 equals, that will be our decimal in here. All I'm going to put so far is 63 over 700. So I've shrunk it to that far. And then I'm going to do my bus stop, 700, 63. I don't know my 63 times table, but I do know that 10 times 63 is 630. Yeah, and another 63 on top of that would be 693. So hang on a minute. I can just say it's 11 times, and I've got 7 left over. 7 left over. If I look at that, doesn't go into it, so 63 doesn't go into it. Doesn't go into 7. Does it go into 70? Absolutely goes into 70. It goes to 70 once, and it's remained a 7, and then it doesn't go in again. So as you can see, it's going to give us that number 11.11111 all the way along. So as a percentage, once we've got our, that's our times it goes in there, isn't it? That's our decimal. If we look at that as a percentage, 11.1, I'm going to put 11.1 in there because I've just done 63 divided into 700, and that's my percentage. If we look at that as a non-calc question for 3 marks, I think that's quite quite involved because you've got a lot of division going on. You've got a lot of shrinking.
And it's time consuming too.
Yes,
it's a lot of time.
Yeah,
it takes time, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I have set, and like I said to Anna, I have done it so we have got it where oh my god, my brain's not thinking straight. I have done it where, why's my brain not working? I have done it where we've got the timer going. So we've got that there. So, and again, what we're on so far, we're on 19 minutes. We've done 2 questions, so we've done 10 minutes already. Let's go next question. Let's scroll down a little bit. Nico wants to work out the total cost of the electricity she used in January. The total cost is made up of the total number of kilowatt hours used plus a standing charge. Nico thinks that the cost of electricity is less than £35. Is she correct? So the first thing we do, we need to work out how many units. So I'm going to go in my box here. 16063 minus 15843, and that is my number of units I've used. So I've got the big number 16063 minus 15843. So I've got 0, 2, can't do that one, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 1. That's 8, 10 take away 2, 5 take away 5 is 0, and 1 take away 1 is 0. So I've used 220 units, 220 units. So, all right, 220 in there. My cost per unit is 12 times by 12.69, and that's going to be my answer. But because I'm going to do it in for me, it's easier to do it in 2 chunks. I'm going to do 220 times by 12 and then 220 times by 69, only because I find that easier. If you would like to attack it in 1 chunk, then absolutely attack it in 1 chunk. So we've got 0 times 2 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 0 on there. Then we've got 0 times 1 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 1 is 2. So we're going to add that bit up. So that is 0, 4, 6, 2. So we know that the 220 times by 12 E is 2,640 P. Don't forget this is pence. Okay, so when we divide it by 100, it's actually £26.40. So that's that part done. Then we're going to do same again. I went off the edge of my pen. I was starting to write on my desk then. 220 times by 69. Don't forget this is 0.69. So this is going to be 0 times 9 is 0. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18 at our spare. 0 times 6 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. And then 2 times 6 is 12 at our spare. So we've now got another number. We've got 0, 8, 11, 4, add a spare 1, 5, and 1. So we've got 151.80. And don't forget, this is the 69, the 0.69. So we've got 151p, 0.80. It's not It's not another 1,500. It's not another 1,581. It's literally the 0.69. So we see it has to be less than 220 because we're timesing it by a decimal. It can't be more than 220. So it's this number, 151p. So let's get our bigger number here again. So we're going to put it back into, oh my gosh, that's scruffy. That is really, I'm not having that. That's really scruffy. Okay. And again, considering we're still on the timer, we've got another 151.80 to add on to it. Okay, so let's go 801,972. That's in pence still, don't forget. And then we've got to add up. So look at this one, 584, £5.84. But if you do it in pence, well, we've still got all the numbers here of pence. We might as well keep it into pence. So let's keep it into pence. 584. That's in p, don't forget. Again, we've got 80. That's the point at the end. We've got a 5. We've got a 17. And we've got a 12. And then another one. And then we've got a 2 and a 3. So that's in pence. 3,375p. Think it into pounds. 33.75. On my working out box here, I'm going to go 220 multiplied by 11, 12.69 equals 2791.80. Underneath, I'm going to put 2791.80 add 584 equals 3375.80. Underneath there, 33.75. And then my answer is 33. Oh, is she correct? So the answer actually in the box is no, not correct. So that's my answer. I've literally just said what I was going to do. I found out my units, and I've found out how much it costs for my 220 units. Then I've added on my service or standing charge. I've said it's £33.75p. That's less £35. She said it's going to be. Oh, she said it's going to be less. So it's yes. Wow. I thought she said. I don't know what she said, but yes, it's less than
35. Okay.
Answer is yes. It's less than. So that one's correct. And let's scroll down. And don't forget these notes. They're on my pad. So if they want to watch the camera, they can watch it and see me making my notes. But as long as I write generally what I'm doing in the box here, that's absolutely fine. Nico gets her annual electricity statement. She reads that the average rate she paid over the last year was 13.429 per kilowatt. Calculate 13.29 minus. So again, in here, I'm only going to write the question. I'm not going to do any particular kind of drop downs because it's not the right space. So on my pad of paper next to me, I'm absolutely going 13.429 and then 12.69, and that'll be a 0 on the end because it's nothing. I'm just going to do it as normal. 9 take away 0 is 9. 2 take away 9, I can't do it. So that becomes a 3, that's a 1. 12 take away 9 is 3. 3 take away 6, can't do, so that becomes a 2. 13 take away 6 is 7. 2 take away 2 is 0. 1 take away 1 is 0. So I've now got here, look, put my decimal place back in. I've got, it's there, decimal place, isn't it? 0 point, my number is 0, my decimal place is there, isn't it? 0.73, not there, my decimal place isn't there because my decimal place was here. So we've got 0.739. I'd write the same in there, 0.739, and then we're good. How is that like that though? How is? Oh yes, right. I'm thinking, why is it a 9 on the end? Because yeah, there would be a 0 there. That's the 3 decimal place. I'm thinking, wow, 9 take away 9 is 0, but yeah, because there's that would be an invisible 0 because that's just the 2 decimal places. Next question. What have we got here? Question 5. Nico used 2,550 kilowatt of electricity last year. Solar panels would produce 850 kilowatts of electricity per year for Nico. What is 850 as a fraction of 2,250. So we know as a fraction, we can just write it in like that. This is a fraction, but that's not the answer, don't forget, because it says very clearly underneath, give it in its simplest form. So I'm going to put in here 850 again, 850, and we've got 2,550. Okay, so what goes into 850? I'm thinking 150. No, that's 750. I'm thinking it has to be 50 for me to start with, because I'm thinking there's no other way. If I split that in half, 425, does that divide by 425? I'm not so sure. So I'm going to say I'm going to divide both top and bottom by 50. So 850 divided by 50. I know that it's two lots of 50 to get to 100. So to get to 800, I've got 16 lots of 50. So 850 is 17 lots of 50. Likewise here, if I think of 50 and I get to 2,500, yeah, I know that my 50s, if it takes two lots of...
Sorry. I just wanted to say something. Instead of going all this way, because you know what you're doing, but we, the student, do we have the time to make all these calculations? Can't we just go with the simplest number to divide both?
Simple, like, what would you do? Divide by 2? Divide by 10?
5, 2, 5, and see how it goes.
Okay, so let's say we start this question again, and I think we've got time. I think we've got time. All right, so let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's go 850 and then 2,000. I think probably the best one for me then, the first one I'm doing, is divide by both by 10, so let's get rid of the 0. So 85.
Yeah.
And 255, yeah? Then 5. Then 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
Okay, so then 5. So what I was doing dividing by 50 is just doing these two actions in one. So that's absolutely fine. But so we divide both by 5. So 85 divided by 5, we just said so 10 lots is 50, and then another 7 lots is 35. So 50 out of 35. So that is 17. And then we've got 255 divided by 5. If we go to 100, that's 20 lots. If we go to 200, that's 40 lots. If we go another 50, so we've got to 200 equals 40. Then we've got 50, we know that's 10. And then we've got the 5, that's 1. Okay, so we've got 40, 55. There we go. So we've now got 17 over 55. 17 is a prime. So unless 55 divides by 17, we're not going any smaller than that. If it had been 51, amazing, it works, but it's 55. So that is the smallest answer you're going to get. So on my bit here, that's exactly what I'm writing there. So I was being, and again, I wasn't being smart by dividing it by 50 straight away. I was just looking for the biggest number that wasn't 100. But we've just done divide by 50, look there, because we've done it divide by 10 and divide by 5. So in theory, that's what I would have got in one step. But we did it in 2 steps and we still got the same answer pretty quickly. We divided by 10, get rid of the 0, literally. We got this one place to the left. And then we had much more manageable numbers where it was 85. If, like this, I don't know what 255 divided by 5 is in my head. I could have quickly done that and done 5 and 25 is 5 and 5's into Oh, yeah, easy. So we are wrong. We're wrong. Look, why have I put 55 there?
It's supposed to be, is this supposed to be 51, not 55?
Yeah, look, 40 add 10 add 1 is 51. Viv, you're normally on it telling me I'm wrong. What are you doing? You speak up.
I don't know.
Come on. And now it does work. I'm thinking it does work now, look, because now they both 17 is 1, and then divide 51 by 17, it's 3. Oh, man. Right, there we go. So, yeah, I wasn't even doing my own math. I did my own. Look, I even wrote it 51 there. 40 had 10, he's 50, had a 1. So where I got 55 from, I don't know. Wow. Because 5's into 5 is 1. So yeah, if don't listen to me.
I've done it, and when you were doing it, I said, "Oh my God, I think I did it the wrong way." So I was just waiting.
No, shout. Say, Steve, whoa, what are you doing, man? You got it wrong. Please, just shout out. Okay, so we got a free marker to finish off with. And look, we've got 6 minutes left. So that's just right. Nico installs solar panels. She will save £100 on the cost of electricity each year. She gets these quotes for the cost of installation. How many years would it take if she uses the median cost? The median. So we're going to put all them in order. Let's have a look. It's going to be the second and third numbers because there's 6. We need literally the third and fourth number that we need. It's not those 2 numbers, but if we put them in order, so we've got 1550, 1600. So we don't need those 2. We need the next one, 2100, and then 2600, and then the last 2 are 28 and 34. So we need those 2 numbers. We're going to add them up. Yep, so 4700. Then we've got to divide it by 2 to get the middle of those 2 numbers. So it's going to be 2350. And the reason it's just basically 2,300 will be 4,600, and it's just splitting in that. So we know that if she does it with the median cost, so in my box here, I'm going to put median. I might not even write median. So I'm going to put 2100 add 2600 equals 4700 divided by 2 equals 2350. And then at £100 a year. So we could look at that. We could look at 2,000. So she's doing 100. So we could just literally say, you don't even need to write that bit down, do you? Could do that divided by 100. You wanted to on below there. 2350 divided by 100 equals 23.5. And the reason we know it's 23.5 is because we move, when we divide him by 100, we just move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So 2 places to the left on 2350. Decimal place will be there. So we pick it up 1, 2, 23.5. How many years? Am I going to put 25, 23.5? How many years will she take? Well, it's going to take 24 years, isn't it? Because at 23 years, she hasn't finished. But 23.5, she has finished. So I'm putting 20. I'm going to put in there 24. Because it won't be till the end of the 24th year, because she does it each year. So it says each year there. So it doesn't say, could I write 23.5 and get the answer? Not sure. Okay. The worst thing, and that's, look, we've still got 3 minutes to deliberate this. We've still got, oh, can we do it? Shall we do it? And so my understanding of that is that as soon as you click next, it says, right, you're finished. You don't get those 2 minutes on the next paper. You literally lose those 2 minutes. So my advice, if you've got any spare time, would have a quick look back through what you've written, just in case you've put an extra 0 on by accident, or you've not done the thing right. Again, here we've got a number there. We've got actually, whoa, hold on. Right, so on this question, right, okay, where's that question at? What, right, why did I do? Okay, on this question, so we've got 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes, and I've got. If we look at this question, right? Can I make more? Yeah, I'm going to make more. I'm going to make more space. Can I go? I can't go to the right. We've done it. We've done it the wrong way around. Oh man, that's the fraction. I've got to go for the fraction. It's top divided by bottom. I've done here bottom divided by top. Why? What planet was that when I did that? That's just bonkers. So it's actually here 63. Oh my gosh. good job we have some time left. It's actually 63 divided by 700. And then once we've done that, that's to get the decimal. Let me times it by 100. So in theory, if I go down to the bottom, I'm aware we've got a minute left. Oh gosh. So we've got 700 divided into 63 times by 100 equals the percentage. If we don't times it by 100, so if we just keep it as it is, we can actually take that off. So it's just 63 divided by 7, which is 9. Why did I? What planet was I thinking when I did that? Wow. So it's 700, and that's 63, and I've got 42 seconds left. Divided by 700. No, it's not 400. 700 times by 100 equals 9. Wow. Okay. Good job we spotted that error. Okay, so I went back, I checked my questions, and like I just did then, I kept it as a fraction, but I don't know why I did the bottom divided by top. That's just silly. 15 seconds to go. Yes, we've got that one. We've answered that one. Yes, we did the simple one there. Yes, we've put, and again, I did that one wrong, so we might squeeze that one. And then final one, yes, we did the 23.5 years. Okay, so the time's run out. It'll say end of test, done. You can now close it and start the next one. What we're not going to do, we're not going to start the next one, but we are going to go back and look at the answers. Okay, mark scheme for this one. Let's open up and let's get our questions back. So if we go like that again, and we should be able to get these questions up in the screen. I can't believe that. And Viv, you didn't spot that. Normally you're good at spotting my errors. So yeah, and again, that would
I've done it before and I got 9%. You need to understand me that when I have done it, I've not cross-checked it. But when you were doing it, I was thinking probably I did it the wrong time. I did it the wrong way.
No. Trust yourself.
1%, and I'm saying, oh, okay.
Trust yourself.
I did it the wrong way. I didn't know.
No. Trust yourself. That's what massively. Please trust yourself, because again, and that for me is where when I've done exams in the past, that's where I've not read the question properly, and I'm like you said about putting some workings out on my paper, then put it back there. I'm too busy trying to do everything. I'm like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. And luckily, I mean, 2 minutes left isn't a long time, but again, to see that actually, why did I do bottom divided by top when in any fraction we always go bottom into the top? So yeah, maybe when I might have looked at it and thought, oh yeah, 700 doesn't go into 63, but then yeah, we do bottom divided by the top times by 100, because the bottom divided into the top one is the decimal, and then we times it by 100. So yeah, let's have a look. I mean, oh my gosh, I probably got them all wrong. Let's have a look. Oh man, I'm not even tired. I went to bed last night as well. So what is going on? 198092, 19892. Correct. All right, next one. 9%. Whew, just in the nick of time. 9%. Yeah, we got 9% in the very end. Thank goodness. So I would have missed out on probably two. Yeah, probably would have missed. Hold on, let's have a look. What would I have got?
You got 11%, isn't it? 11.1. Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking at the 3 marks, would I have got any of those? I probably would have got
1.
Yeah, probably would have got 1 for getting that that fraction, and then from a fraction to create the percentage. So their fraction, if you look at their fraction, they've maintained that as their fraction. So they've used the 84 times table and realized that 84 goes into 756 9 times. My brain doesn't see that. My brain doesn't see it. It sees that if I look at it long enough, it sees if I add another 84 onto that, it becomes 840. But looking at that number, I don't think, oh yeah, 84 goes into that 9 times. Whereas when I look at 7s into 63, that says to me That's part of my 9 times table. It's 7 times 9. So yeah, they kept their big fraction and did it that way around. But yeah, I think I would have got 1 point for that for identifying the correct fraction to then do my decimal. If I'd have got none, that'd have been my own fault for not reading it. Question C, we got the number of £33 and 33. Where are we at? Where is that number? Where did we get? Sorry, we got here. It's a yes. Oh, it just gives us the units there. We worked out the price. Oh yeah, no, there we go. £33 and 76p. We rounded it up, like we had the 8 there, so it would have been a 6p, but we've got the right answer and we've got the right numbers in there. We just chose to get rid of that. I mean, and typically the electricity and gas companies are always going to give you that as a 1p more. They're not going to say, oh yeah, by the way, I have 0.8 of a p off your bill. No, we'll give it an extra p on your bill. So yeah, we got that one right. We can see our numbers in here. Look, it's 33.758, 33.758. We got the right ones. D. 0.739, yes. A third, yeah, we got 17/51 at the end, although my maths here of adding 40, add 10, add 1 was 55, and I don't know why, when it clearly is 51. So we got a third, absolutely, here. F, we got, so they would have accepted either or. Don't know if I like that. I mean, I do, because we got it right, because we put 23.5, but for me, 4 years, it takes me 24 years to pay it off. 23.5 is not a full year. So yeah, we found out the median, of course. Then we've worked it out. So yeah, we've got the right answer. We would have got all the marks there, but making sure that, you know, I think the question's a little bit grey. How many years? It doesn't say how many full years or to the nearest year. Yeah, but again,
they just wanted to know how many years it would take to clear the.
Yeah, yeah, and we put 23. We put 23.5, but for me, 0.5 of a year is not a year, is it? 0.5. So I would be.
Yeah, but when you're counting years, you count in months, isn't it? So it is 23.5 is like 23, yeah, and 5 months or something like that.
So yeah, I mean, we got it right because we wrote 23.5, but yeah, they accepted both. So that's absolutely fine. For me, a mixed bag of questions on that non-calc. Definitely one of those sort of papers where if you're rushing like I did, we're not missing easy questions, because that question was probably the most difficult one when it came to the fraction and turn it into a percentage, but making things harder for myself by thinking on a calculator paper that have a percentage that isn't a whole number. That's generally not something they do. On a non-calculator paper, if you're having to work out a fraction to a decimal to a percentage, they're generally going to give you whole numbers to work with. So why I didn't notice straight away when I'm thinking 11.1, what, why? So yeah, for me, genuinely thinking that's a mistake, was not recognized until I actually got 11.1, then looking at the answer again, thinking, hang on a minute, that's not right. So luckily we had 2 minutes to spare and we managed to switch it round. Generally because I noticed that I'd done bottom divided by top, not the other way around. Okay. Tomorrow we will hit we're going to hit the next one down, which if
we'll do the calculating one, isn't it?
If you want, we can do calculator, we can do the same one, or we can do that one, or we can do the non-calc of that one. It's up to you. I'm easy either way. What do you want to have a go at the calculator part, or do you want to have another go at some more non-calc?
Let's do more non-calc, because the amount of calculations sometimes they put on non-calc, I just think it's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, to fit it into that half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's
not like we are experts. We are not supposed to just know. to you it's okay because you can just stay.
It's not
and then
clearly not today. It's not. I need to get another cup of coffee.
But to me, like what you were trying to divide by time, divide by, I wasn't getting anything. If it's me, I'll just go with the lowest one and just, even if I have to do it two or three times, but
yeah.
it's much simpler than going with the big ones.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that non-calc, sometimes they just give us ridiculous calculations that takes a whole lot of time, which is not supposed to be.
And I think the calculator paper with an hour and a half, genuinely, it's enough time. I think 30 minutes, 35 minutes on the non-calc would be much, much better than 30 minutes. And I know it sounds like it's only 5 minutes, but
do you know what takes my time in non-calc? It's the statistics, the median, the whatever. If they're giving me that median where you have to times, where you have to plus, where you have to times, oh my God, it's quite easy, but the time it takes to make the mid frequency to the other ones and all that, and then that one, and another one is the what do you call them now, where you have the circles, the triangles, all those questions, they take time. Those are the ones that takes most of my time.
Okay, so tomorrow then we'll go. This week then we'll stick with non-calc, so we can try and see how we squeeze those 6 or 7 questions into 30 minutes. I mean, like today, I only had 2 minutes to spare. Okay, I was talking through it, but if I'd have made another mistake, I wouldn't have been able time to go back and correct it. I would have had to say, you know what, I've made a mistake. We'll have to move on to the calculator paper. And if that's a real exam, that's okay. I wouldn't beat myself up about it. I mean, you know what? I knew what I should have done in the end. I didn't have enough time. Let's move on. So if I'd have only had 10 seconds left and I noticed I'd done that question completely wrong, then I'd have thought, well, let's hope I get 1 mark for showing I've got the right fraction. And let's not worry about that I didn't put it as a percentage because I can't change it now. What sometimes I do, I dwell on things like, oh my gosh, I should have done that. I should have done that. Well, too late. Let's carry on. I've got another hour and a half to now make up the best I can, because out of the 60 marks, we need 36. If you get 35, unfortunately, that's not enough. If you get 36, that is enough. So we can.
Sometimes getting that 30, sometimes some papers, some questions, even getting that 30 it's like a giant leap. I tell you.
It is. It's massive. I've got somebody at the minute. It's got 32, 31, and 33. So missing out, and he's so close every time. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're literally one big question away from passing every time. And when you look at his answers, you're thinking, oh, if only. And obviously I don't get to see his exam, but you look at the printout of which topics he's not doing very well on, and you think there's no one topic every exam that you've missed out completely on. So honestly, yeah, it's not necessarily, when it comes to the exam, it's not necessarily the topics, because generally we're covering every topic. It's the question. It's how it's worded. So
yeah, it's how the questions are worded. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So